friends, welcome to Creating with Jovi and to 100 Days of Pockets, which is hosted by Cindy A. Lewis, and I am collaborating with her on this project. And I wanted to know if you wanted to see how I made this beautiful pocket today. I want to mention also that Cindy has a playlist, as do I. So if you've missed any days of 100 Days of Pockets, you can check out the playlist on either one of our channels. I want to let you know also that Cindy has a booklet with 100 Days of Pockets, and you can grab that on her Ko-Fi shop. I'll put that in my description box, and she has a discount on that right now. So go check that out. All right, my friends, let's get started. All right, so the things that you're going to need is you're going to need some decorative paper and the usual glue, double stick tape, scissors, paper cutter, ink if you want to distress, things like that, okay? You're going to start with a 5x7 or whatever size will fit in a journal that you're working on. I happen to have a 6x6 piece of paper here. Now I noticed that this pocket calls for 5x7, so that's a 2-inch difference. So since this is 6x6, I'm going to go ahead and cut it into 4x6. That should make it work. So all of the instructions in Cindy's booklet, you can work them to suit your needs. That is not a problem for you to do that. So I need to simply take off 2 inches from this piece of decorative paper here. All right. So now we have a 4x6 piece of paper, although you could have a 5x7. Right, we are going to turn this to be horizontal. We are going to start in our upper left hand corner, and we're going to cut 2 inches down, which is going to be right here. 1, 2. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. You can just mark it with a pencil and take it to your paper cutter and then set it up to do that. You can also take your ruler and you can tear it, or you can keep your ruler there and grab your razor tool and you can cut it. Feels like it's still attached, but it's mostly done, so I'm just gonna move that and grab my scissors and just finish the job wherever it was still attached. I just didn't press hard enough, that was all. Okay, and there we are. So now we have a pocket with an angle. All right, so now you want to fold in the bottom about a 1/4 inch. So what I'm gonna do, now you could use your, what do we call those things? The things with the tracks, and you put pressure on it. I can't remember what that's called. I have one, but I'm gonna do this in such a way so that if you don't have one, it's okay. Anyways, if you guys think of the name of that, let me know what it is. But we're gonna push this up to this line at number 9. It could be any number, it doesn't have to be number 9. I just happen to be tucked up against number 9 here. And we're gonna go in about a 1/4 inch, and that's where these little polka dots are, a 1/4 inch. And then what you can do is grab something that's a little bit dull and just go down, put a little pressure on it, not so much pressure that you end up accidentally cutting it, but enough pressure to indent it, right? And then you could either keep your ruler there kind of as a support to press that up like that, and then we can finish folding it over the rest of the way. This is your glue line for your pocket. And then we're going to do the same thing on the right side, which is this side over here. Let's flip this over, line it up right here, and we are going to score it by hand, just using our ruler, and like I said, anything that's dull. Okay, and I'll keep the ruler there just so I can lift that up and put a little pressure. Now this corner is going to be a little funky, so what you're going to want to do is snip that corner. You don't need all that extra paper in there. And then we'll remove it here as well, and then we'll just get that out of the way. We don't need that. And then here's this. All right, now we have a very, very simple pocket. I'm gonna use a piece, I used one of these yesterday too, it's my handmade paper, but I'm gonna, since I don't have a style of journal going right now, sort of cooking if you will, I'm gonna use this to add my pocket to. So I'm going to flip this over and put my glue on the glue lines here. Glue this in place. The colors are perfect. I have found some pretty trim that I would like to add to the pocket. So I am using my Fabri-Tac to do that. Actually, this is 3-in-1, but I really believe that Fabri-Tac and 3-in-1 are the same thing. All right, I'm gonna put these down before that dries. I have this cute little teacup. I think we'll go ahead and put this right here. All right, and now for the final touch, I'm going to add some cute little flat back pearls to the cup. All right, friends, I think I'd like to add an extra detail. So I'm going to add buttons. And I'm using my gem tack because it works really great for flat backs and buttons and all of that. Once I decide what journal this is going to go into, I could very easily go ahead and add some stitching to these buttons just to add that little extra element, you know, that little detail that we all love so much. But for now, I'm just doing this. It takes a little less time. All right, my friends, I am going to use this piece of paper as a faux tag, just so we can get a feel for how our pocket is going to look inside of a journal. And I really like it. Let me get it a little closer to you so that you can see the buttons and the pretty trim that we added and the little flat backs. Now the glue is still drying around those, so there's a little bit of that going on, so just ignore that part. But I think it's a super pretty pocket. All right, my friends, I appreciate you being here. Check out Cindy's channel today if you have not already. And I wanted to let you know that tomorrow is day 10, and it's going to be a window pocket with vellum. Thanks for watching. See you soon.